let me get into this waiver wire receivers. So one of the main receivers this week, obviously, is Dontayvion Wicks. Dontayvion Wicks had a really nice game against Minnesota, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Jordan Love exploded in the second half there. But Christian Watson left the game with a high ankle sprain, and it looks like this might be a longer-term thing for Christian Watson. So Dontayvion Wicks is a player that a lot of fantasy analysts like. He is now stepping into the right type of spot to be rostered. So he projects as like a flex option, probably up and down, just depending on the game flow and how things go. But Dontayvion Wicks should be flexible, at least during bye weeks here. And I think this is the upside that if you were a Wicks fan, this is the opportunity you were waiting for. Like Jaden Reed is going to get his no matter what, as we've seen. He's the clear wide receiver 1 in this offense to me. But if Jordan Love is throwing for 250 to 300 yards a game, Wicks is probably going to see a good 50 to 60 yards of that almost every single game. So I like what Dontayvion Wicks has to offer. Don't forget that Romeo Doubs is also on his team as well. Had a tough matchup against Gilmore there on the outside. So just know that. But Dontayvion Wicks is an add as a receiver, especially if you're one of the people that lost Rashee Rice over the weekend and you're looking for a receiver. Or maybe you have a couple guys on bye. St. Brown and Jameson Williams are on bye right now. If you have like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they haven't been playing. So if you're looking for a Calvin Ridley type of replacement, like you could throw him in the lineups and feel good about it. Also, Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker for the Raiders is a pickup this week as a flex option during bye weeks. Now, I think he's an up and down play. Think like Jameson Williams, Rashid Shaheed. He's going to be an up and down play on a weekly basis, but he does offer 30 to 50 yard potential on a weekly basis, deep play potential on a weekly basis, especially with Devontae Adams looking like he's probably not going to return to the Raiders here. So if you can get Trey Tucker, I've been talking of Trey Tucker since this offseason. I always thought he had a place on this roster, and he looked like a piece of the puzzle for Antonio Pierce. Now, Antonio Pierce is probably going to be in the hot seat here over the next couple of weeks. But if the Raiders do not bring a receiver in a deal with Devontae Adams, then I think Trey Tucker could have flex value across the rest of the season. So not a priority pickup, but a pickup nonetheless. A player that I think could have some value here if this Devontae Adams thing goes sour for the Raiders. Also, if you missed me talking about Xavier Legette over the last 3-4 weeks, I've been talking about him for weeks. If you haven't picked him up and he's available, go get his ass now. Obviously, with Thielen out, he was a priority pickup. But even before then, I was talking about Legette and how he's getting looks downfield. That's why a lot of the analyst stuff matters, but the film speaks as well. And so when you're looking at some of the looks he was getting even earlier on in the season, that shit matters. So I think long-term, this is a player that you talk about first-round picks, early-round picks. This is a guy that has potential the rest of the season, like the rest of the year. So I think Legette, man, has upside. To me, he's a weekly flex right now, wide receiver 3 in 12-team leagues. And then a sneaky ad. I did this in my Dynasty League just in case it happens. But the Kansas City Chiefs, they love to sign names. They've signed Mecole Hardman back. You get Juju Smith-Schuster. You trade for Kadarius Toney. You sign Kareem Hunt. Like, this team typically goes after names. They go and get a Hollywood Brown this offseason. So they like the name value. With Rashee Rice, who was running a lot of short to intermediate routes, just getting open through the slot, a lot of slants. Who's number one slant boy? Michael Thomas. That's a speculative ad right now. Nothing confirmed. Nothing even projecting that he's going to be out there. No smoke really from the Chiefs side. That's just a sneakier ad in like your 14, 16-man leagues, your deeper dynasty leagues. If you're looking for like maybe somebody to throw out there or pick up with some upside, Michael Thomas might be a name that you can get for the low. Low. When I say low, I really mean low, like if you're desperate. So Michael Thomas is more of a sneaky ad. Could pan out, could be absolutely nothing. Kind of like Leonard Fournette last year, Kareem Hunt this year. You want to add these guys in your deeper leagues just in case things play out. But you never know how it works. You get Kareem Hunt this year. You had Leonard Fournette last year, who was absolute trash. So wide range of outcomes, 0 to maybe a flex play at some point throughout the year. As far as tight end goes, Tucker Kraft is now in the top 15 tight end. I think I got him in the top 15 tight ends in my rankings. But Tucker Kraft belongs on rosters. He's what I expected Luke Musgrave to be at this point in the year, and he hasn't been that, right? Like Luke Musgrave's been trash. So Tucker Kraft deserves to be on rosters right now. I don't think he's not even rostered in more than 20% of leagues. So he's taking over the tight end duties. We know Jordan Love is back, and Jordan Love looked his way. He had 50 and a touchdown yesterday or 2 days ago. So I feel good about Tucker Kraft, especially where tight end is at right now. Go grab Tucker Kraft. I feel good about that. So if you're looking for a tight end, if you've been done dirty by Kyle Pitts, done dirty by Mark Andrews, or some of these other options, feel free to go get them. But that does it for receivers and / tight ends.